Now, Donald Trump has a serious problem with minority voters, especially African Americans. Now, in some of the recent polls, and I'll break that down later, he has almost no support among African American voters. Now, one Trump supporter thought, you know what? If we can't get minorities on our side, don't worry. We'll just make them up. I kid you not. Raw Story reported that one Trump supporter, in an effort to win over minority voters, has actually been caught impersonating a young black woman on Twitter using the account handle Black Girl for Trump. Now, you might be thinking, how do you know this person is impersonating someone else? A black woman. That's pretty low, dude. Come on. Well, we know because the woman whose photo is being used in Black Girls for Trump profile says, hey, that ain't me, and I'm really not happy that they're using my photo. Now, she had an initial reaction after being alerted by a friend that her photo was being used for a pro-Trump Twitter account. She says, why are they using my picture? Good question. Good question indeed. And after it was confirmed that someone else was using her picture, she said, hey, delete my picture, please. Well, that's pretty clear, right? There is a picture, unauthorized picture of her being used by someone else. And she asked, hey, get rid of it, right? So that's pretty clear. Well, as of this video, Black Girl for Trump is still using her photo, despite the fact that many users have said that, hey, this person is using this other person's photo without authorization. You need to remove it. And it's still there. Amazing. Now, on the other aspect of this, how sad is it that you would have to steal a photo of someone who's a minority to say, look, I'm a minority and I'm voting for Trump? That's pretty strange and pretty sad. It's not that the 12 people that support Donald Trump, 12 black people that support Donald Trump don't exist. Well, of course they do. Remember the Stump for Trump girls? Diamond and Silk, I thought. Now, say what you will about their politics, they were African American and they were incredibly entertaining. And they were for Donald Trump. We know they're real, and they account for 2 of the 12 black Trump supporters that exist in this world. But seriously, look, it's obvious that African Americans as a whole are not about to jump on the Trump train anytime soon. And this probably isn't going to help at all. As to why someone would impersonate a black female Trump supporter, well, maybe it's because this person wants to give the illusion that Trump does not have a major issue with minority voters. Now, sadly for them, it doesn't actually match up to the reality of the polling. In fact, I have a new Washington Post ABC poll that was actually done earlier this month that had Trump with a 94% unfavorability rating among African Americans. Ouch. That hurts. Now, the poll also showed 89% of Hispanic Americans surveyed viewed Trump unfavorably. What about with women? Come on, Trump's got to be doing pretty good with the women, right? Nope. 77% unfavorable. These are disastrous numbers, especially when you're dealing with an ever-changing electorate. Now, however, there is some good news for Trump. And this is according to an analysis by The Upshot that shows that millions more white, older working-class voters had actually went to the polls in 2012 than was found by exit polls on Election Day. Now, what does that mean? That essentially says that more people showed up than they thought. More white people that voted for Republicans, that voted for Mitt Romney instead of Barack Obama. That pool could go to Donald Trump, or most likely is to go to Donald Trump. That's really, a lot of his support comes from white, working class, lower educated voters. In fact, Trump loves the lower educated, the uneducated. He said so himself. So they will probably come out for Trump, and that might actually help him win the election. And this also doesn't include some of the Sanders supporters who will, if Bernie Sanders isn't nominated, will vote for Trump instead of Hillary Clinton. Now, on that, I have a quick note here. All right. For those of you Bernie Sanders supporters who will vote Trump, You may think that voting for him will stick it to the establishment. But make no mistake, Donald Trump is part of that establishment. Instead of being purchased by corporate America, like most of our politicians, like Hillary Clinton, he's instead been on the other side of that equation, where instead he's purchased politicians and then would brag about it. This is not a guy who's going to fix the problem of campaign finance reform. You think he's going to fix money in politics? No. You think he's going to fix trade? Hell no. No, what he's going to do is he's going to make it far worse than Hillary Clinton will, who, by the way, will also not fix any of the problems raised by Bernie Sanders. Now, who do we have to thank for these two wonderful choices? The establishment in the Democratic Party, who cut off its nose to spite its face by coronating Hillary Clinton. So, there's our lovely choices. But I want to go back to our idiotic Trump supporter who created a fake profile. Did you really think that this was going to help with African Americans? I mean, I guess on the upside, it can't really hurt him with African Americans, because once you've hit rock bottom, there's generally nowhere else to go but back up. Now, nonetheless, I want to leave you guys with a little bit of a warning. Just like we've seen with Brexit, racism and xenophobia, which Trump seems to be running on, are great motivators for people to go out and vote. And with Trump, I certainly see that, coupled with disdain for the establishment and neoliberal economic policies. Now, because of that, I still see some minorities voting for Trump on just those issues of how the establishment has absolutely failed. It could happen, despite these types of laughable instances of their members doing minority outrage. Trump still could happen, despite these numbers. And that should scare everyone.